What an odd sensation.
This is a dangerous whiskey.
Wow, that's totally different.
Okay, so I've had my nose broken.
Hey everybody, it's Mac McCormick with Big Whiskey Rebellion. Today we are going to be discussing how to have an interesting evening with somebody who maybe isn't always a whiskey drinker. So today we have this nice couple, and it is a little different than you would think because she is a whiskey drinker and he is not. But I want to make it so that he is actually part of the evening as well as her, because normally he drinks beer. And I only know that because I've served him a few times. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
My name is Melanie Martin, and I really love bourbon and Scotch. And my husband does not. He is very much a beer drinker.
My name is Trey Martin. I wouldn't say that I am averse to drinking whiskey, just bad experiences from a pretty young age have certainly colored my opinion.
I know that you usually drink beer. What style of beers do you prefer?
As I've gotten older, usually the lighter the beer, the better, honestly. With the rise of the brewery scene, so to speak, there's always a band playing and always a beer to try, but normally it's pretty much whatever the lightest thing on the menu is for me at this point.
And I'm only asking this to understand your palate more. Have you ever appreciated like the richer stouts and things like that?
Okay, so I've had my nose broken more times than I can physically. I lost count a long time.
Yeah.
So my sense of taste is very different.
Right.
She'll tell me something tastes like this. I'm like, that's not at all.
You should have made her that sandwich.
Yeah,
I mean,
I should not. Yeah, it's not at all. What did I?
He teaches MMA fighting. That's why he's had his nose broken so many times. And then sometimes he's just a smartass.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Your sense of taste tends to gravitate towards lighter flavors in general, or does that translate to food? Because I feel like you eat spicy food when you come here.
Yeah, if I'm not on the verge of hallucinating from the heat, it's not really spicy enough. But that's my sense of taste has been affected by my nose.
Does that translate into your drinking?
No, not at all.
That doesn't. That's
It's very odd. I know. Yeah. I freely admit.
He does like a Guinness, though.
Well, that's what I was asking. Do you like stouts? Because those are richer.
I like Guinness.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's like chocolate milk with beer in it.
It's a multivitamin.
Yes. Say you guys are on a different kind of date and you're at a vineyard and you have no choice. You have to drink wine. What kind of wine would you like?
Good question. Not much of a wine drinker, honestly. Of the ones that she's let me try in the house, would probably like a Pinot Noir would probably be, or what's the Syrah? I don't mind that.
Yeah, he'll tell me, he's like, I don't hate this.
Right.
That's about what
That's his answer.
And that's kind of the goal when I'm helping pair somebody with whiskey.
Right.
And for you at home watching this is actually the reverse of how it happens at a lot of my restaurants. Like usually this is a restaurant where people come on a date night and it's him bringing her on the date night and she's just tolerating it. And I thought this would be fun to do because typically it's the reverse where he's the whiskey drinker and she does not drink whiskey. But in this case, it's the other way around. And I just want to show him a whiskey based on what he's telling me that he's gonna like. So I know that you like, well, pretty much anything that's whiskey based. So I'm gonna grab some whiskeys real fast. And they're gonna be ones that you like, but they're also gonna hopefully be ones that he likes.
Yeah, he tells me all the time that I drink like a man. I like it neat and
not just
a little
man,
spicy
like a
and
manly man.
Whiskey doesn't have to be manly.
Huh.
Whiskeys are actually oftentimes delicate and beautiful.
Yes.
And what you just said about the wine choices that you like, and Guinness occasionally, tells me a lot about the palate that you can appreciate, whether it's your thing or not. And so Syrah is kind of fruity, and it has dark stone fruit notes, and so that's why I picked these two particular whiskeys that I think you're both gonna love. I know you're gonna like them, but I think he's gonna like it too. You picked a good day. This is a very expensive whiskey. So you have expensive tastes.
She has very.
Oh, that's what he tells me.
Oh no, you do too, according to what you just told me. The first one I poured was the 18-year Glen. I love this distillery. It's actually one of my favorite whiskeys to drink myself. This is a dangerous whiskey because it really doesn't taste like you're drinking whiskey. It's almost like somebody gave you a cherry tart or something. It's so beautiful. It has almost no bite, no burn. It is silk. Then the Ohishi, aged in sherry casks. This is actually a rice-made whiskey, very different than the malted whiskey here. Both of these are sherry casks. They're very different from each other, but they're also both really nice. I have a feeling you're going to love both of these for very different reasons.
Really like rice beers.
Well, there you go. Give these a shot.
All right.
That's really smooth.
Mhm. I mean, like
It's
I said,
not-
there's no bite, there's no
Yeah,
burn,
there's no heat, there's no burn. It's really smooth. It's really nice.
It should be illegal for whiskey to be like that.
I
Right?
know, right?
What an odd sensation. It's like my
Okay, Spock.
sorry, my actual palate. It was like no sensation at all, and then
Yeah.
my tongue, I got something kind of bitter and charcoaly,
Yeah.
and then it smells slightly caramel, almost like Coca-Cola.
Hmm.
At least from what I can get out of it.
I would
With his
say.
broken nose.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
But and that actually makes sense. This is a very rich, very sweet whiskey. It is super dessert-like, and Coca-Cola is
Yeah,
super
sweet.
rich and sweet. So that makes sense.
It's very different, at least from my limited exposure.
Yeah.
I really think that's where I struggle, is that kind of the heat and back end of whiskey is just sensation, and it triggers, so it's
And I
like,
understand
yeah,
that. And
yeah.
part of the reason why I started drinking whiskey this way is because it slows me down. You don't want to drink that quite
No,
quickly,
you
do you?
sip.
Yeah. My personal rule for myself drinking is I never drink more than 2 drinks in a day. And so this is the way I like to drink because it slows me down and I take my time with it. This is dangerous because it's way too easy
Right.
to drink. And so I wanted to take my time with that one because I know it's expensive. This is like a $250 bottle of whiskey. Though Ohishi's a little less expensive. It's probably like $85, $90 a bottle. So that neither of them are cheap.
Right.
But when you're drinking something that costs $250 a bottle, you tend to go, well, that costs X dollars. I'm gonna slow down because I don't want to waste it.
Exactly. You want to savor it and not
Yes.
like chug it down. And
All right, so the
Right.
second whiskey, the Ohishi, rice-made whiskey, very different. What do you guys think?
you can definitely smell the fruitiness of it.
Big time.
Yeah.
So that sherry casking
Mhm.
really translates.
That's, I guess, what I'm tasting.
Yes.
Is that,
Mhm.
yeah.
It actually becomes the
Oh,
prominent
wow.
flavor in that whiskey to me.
Wow, that's totally different.
In a way, they're similar because they're both aged in the same kind of casks.
Right.
And that note, again, translates to what he just told me about beer choices and wine choices. So that's why these whiskeys were picked.
Right. I feel like you can taste the cherry in this one more. It seems lighter.
Well, the whiskey's a lot
Rich.
younger,
Yeah.
so it's not as dense.
Yeah.
As whiskey ages, the barrel's reducing over time through evaporation, and that creates a more viscous, thicker, richer flavor.
Right.
This is more of a bright whiskey, I think.
Yes.
And so I like it a lot.
That's how
Yeah.
I would describe that. Like if somebody asked me, like, give me descriptors, bright.
Yes.
Yeah.
But can
I
you
like it.
see why I would pick these for you, based on what you were telling me, at least?
Given my severe lack of knowledge of anything that is probably not George Stickle or Jim Beam,
Yeah.
then I have to defer to your judgment.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't want you here because of your whiskey choices. I wanted you here because you're pretty.
Oh,
Well, thank you guys so much for this. I really
Thank
appreciate
you for
it.
having
I
us.
appreciate the opportunity to expand my palate a little bit, try
Absolutely.
something different.
Will you now try some different whiskeys?
Absolutely not.